So if you guys haven't already seen my walk around of the new project car for the car channel, this 1967 Camaro SS, the body trim panel I already showed you guys under the hood. It's been painted over so many times, I can't even read the numbers. So I don't know what the original trim of this car was. And we know it's been painted a bunch of times, but there's something I kind of want to address right away on this car. One of the things, you already know why I called it a project car. If you haven't seen the first video, go and watch it. I know a lot of people on Instagram were like, hey, that car looks done. It's far from done. It definitely passes like the 10-foot rule and the 5-foot rule if you squint. So anyway, what I want to look at today, I keep forgetting everything's metal and I keep trying to cut myself on things. I already cut my finger on this. Anyway, the 67 had these vent windows. This was air conditioning in 67, and you would take this and you would flop it up. You can see this window doesn't open because it's impacting the trim, which if you guys have already seen my plans for this car and we talked about in the first video, this isn't gonna be there. But that tells me this thing is way out of adjustment because I can't open it. Also too, when I roll up the window, I love the sounds.
Amazing sound.
It goes all the way up and hits the top here, but it doesn't touch the rubber seal here on the frame. So it's about a 1/4 inch short, or maybe around 8 millimeters or so. Something happened on this side of the car. We know that this side of the car was hit because inside the trunk, you can't see it here. I don't recall if we showed it in the first video or not, but there are spot weld lines that you can see and it's kind of wavy. And I used to do auto body back in college, and that tells me there was a dent pulled on this fender because they have the heat gun that will weld a nail to it, and the nails would stick out of the dent, and then you take the dent puller and you clamp it on, and it's a weight, you pull back and you pull the dent out. So that tells me there was a dent in there at least, which I hope that this is the original quarter, because then at least we can say, hey, at least the body hasn't been cut up. But the other thing too is the rear quarter window, check this out. It goes down halfway and stops. When it goes down, it's supposed to curve and turn down into the door frame, or into the fender here. So as you can see, something is, hey, okay, so it might just need some lubrication. Will it go up? Okay. I can't wash the car anyway because the window doesn't seal. But you know, I'll be honest. My engine builder who's building the LS7 for this, he has a 68, 1 year newer. He hasn't had the vent window to deal with. He was like, I never wash my car because water gets in everywhere in an old car. And even though this has what appears to be like new seals, like these are like new seals up here. I had a 92 Camaro with T-tops with brand new seals and it still leaked. Okay, I think I need to make a tool. I don't have the crank pin remover tool. So because this is manual door lock and crank windows, there's a clip that holds these on. And there's a special tool that you can push on the other side that's just the right size, and it grabs the teeth and it spreads them apart. And then you can just put your hand here and pop it into your hand. I used to just do it the old school way, take a flat head screwdriver and stick it in the other side and pop it out when I used to do car stereos and stuff. I have sent so many of these pins flying across the room, the garage, the shop, never to be found again. Hey.
That sound.
Got it.
Nice.
Well, I had it pointing down because I was always like, ding!
Oh, you go upwards?
Yeah, because it was easier to see what I was doing, but okay, there's that. Oh. So these door panels, like I said, these were all replaced when the interior was redone. The interior in this car is really good. Like I don't feel any pressure to get the interior worked on because it's got the Dakota digital gauges and all that stuff. But yeah, these are just the plastic clips and they don't have panel popper, but they're so loose. Like if this was a new car, I'd be using a proper panel popper tool, otherwise they'd just be breaking. But this thing has been apart probably so many times. It was a red car.
So that's a fourth.
But wait, there's yellow paint inside the door.
So it's red, yellow, and what? And what color is black?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's rust in the door. Okay, so there's a couple problems here. When we do the bodywork on this car, I'm probably gonna have them reskin the door. This is rust, and you can see a lot of it up here in the front. Water has made its way into the door, which happens on every door. There is drains in these doors so water can get out. There's a plastic sheet that goes here. Every car has it. And that protects the electronics on a newer car and the panel from getting eroded. I'll take some photos of this. That way when we take it to the body shop guy, that won't be for like a year probably. That way he can see what we're dealing with here. And I'll go based on his recommendation. Does he want to reskin the door? There's clearly rust in here. I have a feeling though, there's no 53-year-old car I could find that doesn't have this inside the door. Sick. Okay, so here's the adjuster right here that keeps from how far up it goes. So that looks like a screw that I can loosen, and that's a stopper, I'm assuming. Yep, that's where it's stopping. I guess that's what that hole's for. Oh yeah, see, look at that. Okay, so the window's going higher now, and this is broken. I need to replace this vent glass already, which I was expecting, and I'm fine with that. But if you look at this, look at the window's trying to go up higher now, but it can't because this is stopping it. So I watched a video online actually about how to adjust this, and we know this is too low because I can't open it. So the good news is, in 1967, they had a really easy way of adjusting how high the window would go right here. And that is dope because that's easy. I thought I was gonna have to do something with the regulator, like the whole regulator mechanism. No, that right there, it's just a stopper. It's just an L piece that goes boop against a thing that I can feel right there. It's a frame. And so I just have to loosen that screw and move that down. The window can go up farther. So then it will touch this seal, but I've got to adjust this first. It really sucks that it's broken, but that's okay. So that's a bolt holding it to the regulator. I just need to tighten that back up real quick before that falls off, and then I'll have no idea how it went. Oh shit. And it fell off. So that hole right there is so you can get it in and in the position. And then that's just the other stopper. So right now, nothing would stop the front of this window from going up too far. But it's not something that holds it to the frame. So that's cool, I can get to that after. This, sharp. Okay, this is one of the bolts right here that adjusts up and down. This one, I'm gonna get tetanus. Wow, that's part of it, but it's loose and it's not adjusting height-wise. I don't know. Like, I don't want to just start removing bolts because this window regulator looks like it would be a complete pain in the ass. I wish I had grease right now. I would grease this track.
No, I think it's fine.
So it looks like this bolt, this bolt, this bolt. These two bolts hold the regulator or the crank on. So these bolts, I'm assuming, are going to hold this, which pulls this to undo. Oh, okay, it wasn't on there all the way. I was like, oh shit.
That's a new sound.
Is it supposed to go? See, look how long that screw is. Why is it so long? Okay, dude, every screw I pulled out so far, look, is different. Every screw I pulled out is different. I mean, I didn't buy a restored car, if you want to know the truth. Like, some might call this restored. I wouldn't. I know this is part of it. I got felt to go all the way up. Why am I taking all this out? I just realized this is the door frame. Jesus. I'm sure someone's already yelling at the screen. That doesn't come off, it's the door. I thought this was a metal trim. It's the door frame.
Oh, yeah, I was wondering what.
Yeah. Something else is holding it in place though. There's a bolt under the rubber piece. There's this bolt here too, and you see how it's an oblong hole? All the holes that mount down this vent glass are oblong, so you can get it where it needs to be. Now, I did watch that old man's video, and the one thing that he did mention is you want to get it in the corner first. Once it's up in this corner, then you can adjust it forward and up, if that makes sense. So, let me loosen this guy. So just loosen it. So now this should move. Yeah, it's starting to. I just realized we're hitting this trim right here. There we go. This trim is gonna be gone. I hate this. I would take it off right now, except it's got all kinds of two-sided tape underneath it. This trim is it's just a molding, like a dress-up molding, and I fucking hate it. Like, it's loose, but it's not moving, you know what I mean? It's not coming up here. Yeah, it's stuck. Oh, shit. That's a fucking screw holding it in place. Why is that screw there? I also need to use my adhesive to put this back because I totally tore it. It almost feels like what's happening is I'm trying to go up with it and the bottom piece is hitting the window. So it almost seems like the whole window needs to shift back maybe.
Or raise the window halfway.
Well, look, just where it is resting now, we know it went up because look at that. I'm just gonna lock it into position like that and see how it is on the frame. Hey, look at that. It's up in there.
Is it actually touching the seals finally?
Yeah, that opens, which it didn't do before. Okay, so the corner, we want it to go up in there. It's touching. So what I need to do now is let me just sort of lock this down and then go up with the window. Well, that's binding. It's okay though. Still nowhere near touching here. Well, she's moving now because look, I just pulled it off the frame, of the window.
The window's not.
Yeah, you just can't be afraid to muscle it, huh? Muscle car needs muscle to muscle things to get in position. It's not like a weenie car, it's a muscle car. Which is funny, it's got 426 horsepower, but God, I'm so spoiled by the 1LE because I'm like, Jay's first wheel problems.
Like roughly the same.
Oh, it's too high now. Okay, well that's good. That's why you don't just slam doors. Problem is because this is broken, it's not going down together as a unit. There's a screw that goes through here
Oh, that.
that holds it all together. That's not in there. It looks threaded, but it also looks stripped. So we can just take their mantra of put bigger screw. It looks like, I'm not even kidding, it looks like they used a fan mount screw.
Hey, we'll throw that in the toolbox.
Swear to God, that looks like a fan mount screw. So that's a fan mount screw, and that's the screw I pulled out. It's just like a tapered head. Well, fan mount screw's tapered head as well. But in terms of thread and pitch, I need one that's bigger and longer. Yeah. Shut up. You don't know me. You haven't seen my wiener. Oh, that'll hold. Now it's moving together. Okay. So I am using a fan mount screw. One of the Corsair ones.
Literally.
The thing I was just like, it's using a fan mount screw. And I was like, wait a minute, that actually seems like a really good idea. So I think what I still need to do though, because this has to be adjusted in the up position. Look how much farther up it goes now. That's what we want. Oh, that's how you control the angle of it. Sick. Okay, so you see how the end of the screw is slotted? That is gonna turn, and that's gonna adjust the depth of how this mounts. And as I push this out, you can see how I adjust that angle, because part of the problem was the angle of this window too. So I have a feeling this needs to come out some. Hopefully it turns. Yes! Literally having to figure this out as I go, because I couldn't find any documentation on this. I don't have a manual for this car yet. And then I can tighten this down. Where it is. Window up, and let's just see how that aligns.
A lot better. Actually, that looks.
Okay, it's a little too high. But it seals.
Yeah.
And all Camaros have a frameless window like this. And my 92 was also notorious for not pushing against the seal properly. So you had to get into the habit of like having it down slightly, shut the door, and then let it go up. My 2018 ZL1, when I open the door, it automatically goes down about a half an inch. You shut it, and then it goes. So the computer does it. So, shut all the way. Oh, where's my door handle lever? Hold on. We're gonna. Hold on. Dude, money. Listen to how solid this door is now that I have everything adjusted and not loose. I had gone and looked at some cars that when I shut were like. All right, so we've got the frame pretty much adjusted perfectly, so it's sitting up in the corner and against all the seal like it should. I discovered something that not only is this one of those nuts that has, so it's an oblong hole like that, which you guys have already seen, so I can adjust the angle of the rear post with that, but then I can control the angle of the window tilting on the top by loosening or tightening the actual stud because it's slotted on the end so that you could get a screwdriver in there. But then I realized, like, when I would get the angle and the height right, it was at a weird angle. It wasn't proper. Like, okay, this controls the tilt, but I couldn't control the tilt on the front. Till I realized the one that's in here in the door frame also is just like this with a stud that we can adjust. So once I figured that out, it's really difficult to get a screwdriver in there. So I actually had to use, like, I basically took a socket and put the screwdriver tip in there and was moving it with the socket, and then that sucked. So I got it loose enough and I just used a pair of pliers. So I got this right. Now we're noticing that we can adjust tension on the frame as well as the angle that the window sits in the frame. Because I was like, wait a minute. We can't be able to adjust all this, but then have the window sticking out of the frame, which is something that we were experiencing. I then see that these, as you can see, are adjustable. See how that moves under tension? But you can see, if you look right here at the back of the window, we can control the angle of the window with it. So now we're adjusting the angle of this window so when it's closed, it's not like too high in the front and too low in the back. Just like overclocking, tweak, test, tweak, test, tweak, test, same thing. Something happened, and we don't know how it happened. It stopped making noise when I put the door card on. Maybe what we were hearing, because that woo sound was the felt rubbing against the window. Maybe the door card and stuff not being tightened up, like the handle and this, it was just resonance through the whole door frame. And maybe this is like acting like a damper now. Like it's still making that kind of a resonance sound, but we just can't hear it because it's being dampened. I don't know, but it's not doing it now. And check this out. Window goes all the way up. Vent window works. Door shuts. Window sealed. Oh, I just put fingerprints in it. I just washed it too. Oh well. Hey, that was fun. That was our fun first video. The next thing I think I'm gonna have to tackle is this. This, and I know it's gonna be dark, the blinker. This is the I Did It tilt column. It's an aftermarket column. Something not right in there, and then when I turn the wheel, it doesn't turn the blinker off when you straighten the wheel back out. So something not right in there. But I think we've done enough for today. I feel very accomplished. Now I can open this up. Dude, that's so solid.